Not gonna lie, I feel very disorganized right now. My boards are not written on, as far as I don't have anything set up. I've got papers everywhere, so many different tasks to make. I don't know where to start. So many different projects going on at once, and I don't even know where to start. I'm so overwhelmed right now. Some of you might relate to this. So life can get chaotic. There's no questions about it. I mean, as you guys could see earlier, my room was uncomfortably messy. And I know you were like, well, Mr. Drew, there weren't things laying everywhere as far as clothes and all that. But, I had piles of papers everywhere, different little to do piles. All right. And if you counted, there was probably like 10 to 15 different little things that I had to do. And it can get overwhelming at times. The idea here is for you to look at where things in your life, meaning your school life, but then also your personal life, how it can get overwhelming. And what it takes is for you to have kind of an organized foundation. And what that looks like for you in your school life is having an organized locker. For me, what that looks like for me here is having an organized classroom. Now, you can't see it now because of where my camera is positioned, but my room is much more put together. And those of you who come into my room pretty regularly, you will see that things are done and taken care of. There's a lot of organization so that everybody knows where they need to go. That's my hope for you. And the cool thing is this skill that we're picking up right now, this doesn't just apply here in school, but this applies to your personal life. Everything that you have, you can keep organized. That way you know exactly what you have, where you might need it, all of that good stuff. You're able to take more ownership in your personal things, your personal success. That's the whole idea. And it goes back to having an organized locker. Some of you might think, well, what about an organized binder? Yes, that too. But we're going to do an organized locker because that's kind of like your bedroom. That's like where you house all of your stuff. So that's where it's going to start for us. And then we can move on to organizing our school materials even more into detail. But it all starts kind of with that base, that foundation. And so for us, that'll be the locker. So hopefully by the end of this, you guys will have an understanding of what kind of neatness you're looking for. And this is for you personally. What I do might not necessarily work for you, and that's okay. These are to give you some ideas and some skills, hopefully some tools that you can use. That's the idea here. So the first step we will be doing, as you're kind of already thinking about what you need to do to clean your locker, that's where this is going to come into play. Now I know you're like, well, all I need to do is go out and clean my locker and we're good. Not necessarily. Sometimes it helps, folks, if you take inventory of what you already have. So the first step here, where you are going to be listing out these things as far as what do you think a well-organized locker needs. So that's this first part. And so now we're on classroom activity. So with the piece of paper that you are given, I'm literally just following along with these instructions that are on your sheet. Fold it in half so that's the same shape as your locker. So for me, vertical, okay? You will use markers, crayons, and a ruler to draw the outside of your locker. Now, we might not have all of that, so just do it to the best of your ability. So I'm going to draw my locker, and I encourage you to do the same. This is my outside. This is my inside. Draw the materials inside. So this is item number 3. Draw the inside of your locker as you would like it to appear. Make it as neat and organized as you possibly can. Then on the back of the construction paper, list the 5 things that you can do to improve the neatness and organization of your locker. That's connected to this first piece that you did, only you can simply paraphrase those. So again, now's the time for you to work on that. So what ideas did you guys come up with? Before you can do your locker cleanout, you're going to need to check with me first, and we're going to talk about a plan of action. This will be just a simple touch base, but at the same time, I want you to understand exactly what your plan of action is. And I want you to communicate that with me. Because essentially, you're telling me what materials you have. So you've taken inventory, and you're also telling me what your plan of action is to make things organized. So you're proving to me that you are investing and you are willing to pick up this tool by communicating with me what your locker looks like. So let's see how this goes, and hopefully this is a skill that we might be able to use later on throughout the course of our schooling and in our personal lives. These are really, really beneficial tools that we start using now, and we become experts before we know it. All right, back to school. Let's see if I can even remember my combo. Let's see here. So we got 29, 37, 47. Oh, I rule. Oh, inside goes this. I'll put it right up here so that it's nice and high for me. So I'm gonna put it right up there. And then also, this is kind of cool. I can also flip it so that it's like this, or I can flip it so that it's the other way. Now let's create this lovely thing. Okay, well, I think I can put my backpack in first. It's not taking up a whole lot of extra room. Alright, well, that's as good as it gets. Man, that's kind of big. Let's see, I'm going to put my AM and PM binders in first, because those take up a lot of space. So I'm going to actually stack them as well. I remember for me that my light, that's my AM binder, and then my dark is my PM binder. And then I just kind of stagger them so that they take up less space. Then I'll put my planner, put that right next to it. I might need to put that on the inside, maybe. Oh darn, you know what? I think I left my book at home. Oh well, I can just get that later. My extra paper and stuff, I'm just gonna put that here so that has plenty of paper. When it's running out, I'll make a note in my planner, and that'll tell me that I need to go back and get some more. I'll put my supply box right there, and then I can put my pencil cup. I can put that right there. How to stack that back there? Now the challenge is going to be keeping it like this regularly, but that's what I have this for. So what I would do now is I would take a picture of that, which I have just done, and then I would put it right here. So now I have this, and I also have the photo that's going to help keep me motivated to keeping my locker somewhat organized. If you have a good organization of your base, your foundation, kind of your space, if it's organized and if it's in good order, then you're going to feel a lot more confident going to all of your classes. Have fun with it. Using tools, you're not experts the first time. Practice over and over. That's what makes you an expert at this. Doing it over and over, trying new things, taking risks, finding balance, keeping those principles. That's where you find success. That's where you will find success. Have fun with it.